together. Let me bring
Okay,
up
I'm
our
here.
man. You there? All right, Miss B Finesse. Now you have a YouTube channel too, is that right?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It is Mrs B Finesse with millennialfinessemindset.com. And I'm there to have the conversations that we don't like to have, particularly with men and women, but it's geared towards men to help facilitate the conversations that we need to have to grow together
Mm.
and to have understanding. So it's doing pretty well, Lead. I just hit the 500 mark.
Congratulations.
Excellent. That is awesome. That is
Congrats.
absolutely
Thank you.
fantastic.
Appreciate that.
Yes. So what do you think about this whole situation, Miss B Finesse? Have you been kind of following it, or what's your opinion on this stuff?
Yeah, I seen what you were talking about, that part where where the guy was like, I see him in the back and I don't feel like they need to be here. And I thought that was so odd. I didn't even know you could even speculate like that or say anything.
Right.
I'm hoping it's not gonna be a hung jury. It's just I don't know, it's just really kind of I feel like it's like the same things that kind of keep happening over and over again, kind of like old boy system type situation. And I'm hoping that they actually can come to some type of resolve with it. But I don't know. I feel like they might try to do like a hung jury or something. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, the fact that you have the balls to get up and say that you don't want any more black pastors in the courtroom. I mean, that just shows you the environment
Yes.
because
And he
you
said
would
it with
not say that.
veracity too. He was very like he was serious when he was talking to you. I was looking at him like really, like he was really serious when he was talking to the judge. I was really shocked.
Yeah, he said it with his chest.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And he was like, "Yeah, there are going to be no repercussions for me because I'm in my community. I'm in
Yeah,
South Georgia, right?"
yeah,
And
yeah,
to be honest, he was saying what a lot of people in the community felt.
yeah.
If we
What they
can really
felt.
be honest, right?
What they felt.
So
And you know what,
yeah.
Lee? Can I go back to what I seen? I know I was looking at some of when they were showing video of people
Hmm.
going into the house, and even before he went in, you seen a lot of people that were they were walking on the property because there was video camera there, and it was showing all kind of people going in the house, walking around. So I mean, to me, I don't see how you could even speculate there if they're showing the video camera with people that were inside the house anyway. So how could he be trespassing?
Exactly. That's exactly right. So many people were in and out of that house, so many
Yeah,
kids, so many couples, so many
right,
adults. The
right,
owner of the house who had the video set up, who had the video camera set up, went on national TV early on and said, "No, man, listen. Yes, he was in the house. Yes, other people were in the
yeah,
house, and
yeah,
Aubrey never took anything. He never
right,
stole anything. He never vandalized anything. He never
right,
damaged any property. He was totally good."
right.
Right.
And so it was super weird how
Very
now
messy.
all of this when he gets in there, now it's a big
It's an
deal,
issue.
right?
Yeah, it's an issue, and it's just I don't know. It's really just I don't know. It's just gut wrenching every time. You know what I'm saying? Like every time, and then the fact that they already kind of purge it, not purge it, but they already said what they did, and then you want
Hmm.
to try to like go back on it and like backpedal. It just shows like how much they already feel like they can do what they want to do anyways, or they're owed some type of special treatment that other people aren't. So
Absolutely,
That
absolutely.
that's that. I think what people are missing too, outside of the racist part of it, is that they suffer from a superiority complex. As we know, that's
yeah,
a foundation of having a racist mindset. And when you
right,
think that, how dare you run in my neighborhood? How dare you trespass on a property in my neighborhood? Right? This is not my home. It's not my
right,
car. You don't have a right to do that. And so the prosecutor did an amazing job pointing out this vigilante mindset that they have, that they are going to enforce justice on anybody. And I
right.
think what really triggered them was the fact that Ahmad ignored them. So now you have that
Facts.
piece that comes in and say, how dare this black man ignore my authority? You see
Right,
what I'm saying? You start to
Exactly.
get into the root of the mentality that's embedded, right?
yeah, that
Racism is a
mindset.
seed. It's a learned
Right,
behavior. It's a
right.
learned behavior. So when you start tapping into that, the mindset, what's the psychological makeup of these gentlemen? It's the sins of
Facts.
the father, right? The father taught them
Right,
that
right,
mindset.
right.
And so now I have a black man that I'm trying to stop. I'm telling him to stop. How dare this
How
black
dare he?
kid
Right,
not listen to what I'm telling him? You know what? And then now I'm gonna use my gun as a form of compliance. I'm gonna point my shotgun at you. And Ahmaud's like, I'll just go the other way and mind my business. How dare you avoid me? Now I'm pointing a weapon at you. You're gonna disrespect me like that?
Yeah, and to be
Like,
honest, like
that's
some
the
of y'all
freaking
cops,
mindset.
some of y'all cops kind of get in that thing,
Yes, it's
right?
ego.
Like,
Absolutely.
yes, y'all cops
Absolutely.
have big egos sometimes.
Absolutely. An officer with a bad ego is probably, I would say, the number one problem, you know. And I think the issue that we see a lot of times too, just touching on it, is me as a black officer, I can tell you, I can say this, just so I could pull you over. I say, sir, I need to get your ass out the car right now. I'm upset. Get your ass out the car. You had me chasing you down 5 blocks. I need to get your ass
Yes.
out the car. And I have my gun out, right? Because now I think maybe there's something that you're hiding, right? Whether justified or unjustified. But look at the scenario. I'm a black officer telling a black man this, or a black woman this, right? You look at me and say, okay, this officer he's an asshole, right? But I'm gonna comply because I don't want any problems. Now, if you take a white officer, he tells you the exact same thing I told you, you're gonna automatically just label him as a racist. You get what I'm saying? So there's this thing that we have to talk about in our community about, hey, there's a professionalism problem in law enforcement, right? Because if a black officer can do it and it's not a problem, but if a white officer do it's an issue, I feel like those things have to be looked at the same and say, listen, we have an issue with how officers are treating black people in the community, because it is a problem. We don't feel comfortable when someone who is white who talks to us that way. You know what I mean? And so again, it's an ego issue. It's definitely an
Absolutely.
ego
Nathan,
problem.
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question,
Yes,
Nathan?
yes, ma'am.
Is that okay, Lee, for me to ask him a question?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a quick question, because I know, as far as me being an educator and in education, we have to do so much training on all kind of things. Even when you were talking about earlier de-escalation, we have to even do training about how to de-escalate when we see students getting ready to fight, or in a motive, or have a mindset that they're ready to do something to each other. So my question to you, Nathan, do you believe the training will actually help those officers for the bigger picture, or do you really think it's more of a mindset thing? Do you think if they do mandatory training and they make officers get this training, do you think the officers will take heed from your perspective on the inside looking out?
That's an excellent question. I say it's a multitude of things. One, the training is only as good as the person that's accepting the training.
Facts.
And so if your mindset is not there and you're not willing to receive it, right? If you're not willing to be introspective as an individual, as an officer, and say, listen, I'm weak in these areas, right? I lack this cultural understanding of these people that I'm enforcing laws on, right? I don't really know anything about the Hispanic community or the Black community, right? And this is, and let's say I'm white and I have to go in here, but it's an intentional effort that an officer has to make to want to serve the community in the way that they would serve their own community, right? And so it's being able to get into that mindset. It's a conscious effort. The training has nothing to do with, you need the training, but this is more on the individual, personal, because I know plenty of white officers and they have the heart of gold. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they want to make a good relationship. They want to have a good impact. So the issue is you have to want that, and I tell people all the time, all police officers are not created equal. Right. So you can have 10 of us lined up and we'll all enforce the law or look at the law different through our lens, through our morals, through our values, and sometimes through our religious beliefs. You know what I mean? And so we have to look at all those factors. Training does help, but it falls heavily on the individual to, one, acknowledge, and then also to make an instinctive, honest, genuine effort to see that training shows itself in the work and the behavior of the officer. Absolutely.
Awesome. Let me
Thank you
just
for
get
that.
this.
Thank you for that.
Let me give a big shout out